Women and work. Equality in employment.
Good morning. For the next 15 minutes we shall be bringing you our regular Monday morning phone-in programme. This week our topic is women and work. To discuss this topic with me we have Mrs. Winifred Gammon, who is a retired teacher, having spent many years teaching in a girls' school in North London. Then we have Mrs. Rosemary Francis. She began work as a bank clerk, but she tells me that what began as just a job soon turned into a career. She is now a top executive for a leading bank and specializes in loans to industry. Finally, we have Peter Brown, who is a personnel director for an engineering firm in the Midlands and has recently appointed 2 young women to managerial positions in the company. Now for our first caller. Hello, caller. Will you tell us your name, please?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Simpson. My name is Joan Bennett, and my question is this. Why is it that so few women get jobs as managers?
Thank you very much for that question. Let me repeat it. Why is it that so few women get jobs as managers? Mr. Brown.
I'm bound to say that the most important reason, in my opinion, is because many people still think that a woman's most important job is to have children. In the old days, many children died soon after being born, and very few people lived to an old age. Before we had machines, nearly all jobs were done by human beings, and it was necessary, therefore, for families to have as many children as possible. Many people saw children as the best, in fact, the only insurance for old age. Of course, these conditions have changed, but human nature changes very slowly.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Gammon, what would you like to say about this subject?
What was the caller's name again?
Joan Bennett.
I think that one of the reasons why women don't get many top jobs, Mrs. Bennett, is because men believe that women are too emotional. Even today, when women have more freedom and equality than ever before, there are many men who have strong prejudices against them. Women are supposed to be emotional, timid, given to panic. They are supposed to gossip a great deal, and they are thought to be catty about other people. Above all, one of the reasons, I think, why women don't get many top jobs is because people think that they are unable to keep a secret and that they have no sense of humour.
Do you agree with these views, Mrs. Gammon?
No, I certainly do not. It's quite wrong to attach these characteristics only to women. As I know from my own experience, men gossip just as much as women do.
Thank you very much for those views. I hope that you found them interesting, Mrs. Bennett?
Yes, thank you very much.
We have another question now. Who is our caller?
My name is Gillian Morrison, and I should like to hear something about sex discrimination legislation. Can you tell me what this means in practice, please?
Yes, thank you for that question. It's about sex discrimination legislation. Rosemary Francis.
Yes, one aspect of the Employment Protection Act concerns maternity. An employer cannot give a woman the sack for becoming pregnant. If she has a job which would be dangerous for a pregnant woman, such as being a radiologist, then her employer must offer her an alternative job until the baby is born. Women also have the right to get their job back up to 29 weeks after the baby is born. They may not get exactly the same job, but they do have a right to go back to the same employer.
Thank you. Have you anything to add, Mr. Brown?
It's Miss Morrison, isn't it?
Well, Mrs. Morrison, actually.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Morrison. I would simply like to add that the Equal Pay Act also says that women must have the same pay as men and that women's work must be given the same value as a man's job. It also says that women must have the same holidays as men and must have the same conditions of work, such as shift work, bonuses and luncheon vouchers.
I think we have time for one more short question. Who is our caller now?
Good morning, Chairman. My name is Davidson and I live in Tunbridge Wells. I just want to say that I'm very saddened to hear all the comments by the members of your panel. My question is this. Isn't it true that the number of divorces in this country is going up every year? Don't the members of the panel know that there is already a very large number of broken homes and of children living with only one parent? Aren't the members of the panel aware that juvenile crime is becoming a very serious problem in this country? Now, the reason for all this is that far too many women are going out to work. There are more married women at work in this country than in any other country in Europe, and this is a development which ought to be stopped. I'd like to ask the panel why they don't come out with the truth and say that more girls should be prepared to stay at home when they get married and look after their children. This would have the added advantage of reducing unemployment, since many women are taking away the jobs that men ought to be doing.
Well, that is a difficult question for us to answer, Mr. Davidson, in the remaining few minutes of this programme, but I will ask our panel members to reply. Mrs. Francis.
I think Mr. Davidson is talking nonsense, and moreover I think he knows that he's talking nonsense. In this society, we are trying to ensure that women are equal to men in every respect. This means that they should be free to seek employment, and it means in particular that they should be able to have the jobs which up to now have been done only by men. Why is it that there are so few women bank managers? Why is it that there are hardly any women members of Parliament? Why is it that there are so few women head teachers in our comprehensive schools? Does Mr. Davidson think that it is because women are incapable of doing these jobs? Women in our society must be free to make their own decisions. Some may wish to stay at home to bring up their children. Of course, one possibility is that men, or some men at any rate, may wish to stay at home and look after the children while their wives go out to work. Other women may wish to work at the same time as bringing up a young family. And then there is the possibility that some women may want to devote themselves to a job and not have a family at all. But the most important thing is that they should be free to make their own choice. No, Mr. Davidson, you will have to think again. I'm afraid that you will have to learn to be more up to date.
Thank you, Rosemary. Is there anything that you would like to say, Mr. Brown? This will have to be a short answer, I'm afraid.
Well, Rosemary hasn't answered the first part of the caller's question, you know. It seems to me that there is a case to be answered. None of us can be happy about the large number of divorces, and none of us can be content to see the large number of broken homes, or the very high figure for children living with one parent. However, I agree with Rosemary, we cannot try to solve this problem by discriminating against women in employment.
Thank you very much. There we have to bring our programme to an end. Thank you for calling. Until next week at the same time.
The Loch Ness Monster. Is there a monster in Loch Ness in Scotland? Many people think so. Many people certainly hope that there is. The people who hope that there is a monster there call it Nessie.
Loch Ness is in Scotland. It's a lake 36 kilometres long, and the water is very deep and very dark. It is also very, very cold. But strangely, the water never freezes. Many fish live there, so it's a perfect home for very large water creatures. Many people believe that a large creature does indeed live there. In 1872, and again in 1932, there were reports. They described a very large animal which looked like a boat. People saw this animal in the water, swimming very fast. In 1933, Mr. and Mrs. Mackay saw the animal. Mrs. Mackay, can you tell us what you saw?
Yes. I was with my husband and we were in the car. We were driving along the road beside Loch Ness, going from Inverness to Glasgow.
What did you see?
Suddenly, my husband saw an enormous animal in the water.
What did it look like?
It had a long neck and a head which looked like a snake.
Could you see anything else?
Yes, it had big humps on its back.
Go on.
Well, it also had a very long tail, which was splashing on the water.
How long would you say the animal was?
It's difficult to say. I should think 8 or perhaps 10 metres long.
How long was it there for?
It wasn't there for very long. We saw it for perhaps 2 or 3 minutes. Then it went under the water.
Mr. and Mrs. Mackay are not the only people to have seen the monster. Many thousands of people have seen it. So many people have seen it that in fact it's now called Nessie. The interesting thing is that all the descriptions are the same, and this is most unusual. Everybody says that it's between 7 and 10 metres long, and the skin is a very dark colour. It has a long neck and a head like a snake. Unfortunately, there are no good photographs of it. Most people see the monster when it's in the water, but sometimes it comes onto the land. Mr. Smith, I think that you live near Loch Ness.
Aye, that's right.
And is it true that you've seen the Loch Ness monster?
Aye, that's right. It was in 1952. I was with my father in the car and we were coming home at night. Suddenly we came round a corner and we saw this thing on the road.
Go on. Tell me, what was it like?
Well, it had a long neck, several metres long, and great big flippers.
What did you do?
We turned the car round as fast as we could and we drove away.
Scientists are also very interested in Nessie. In 1972, some students from Birmingham University came to try and find the monster. Mr. Dixon, in 1972 you were a student at Birmingham University.
Yes, that's right. That was the year we went to try and find Nessie.
Tell me what you found.
Well, we had some sonar equipment.
Can you tell me quickly what that is?
You use sonar equipment for making pictures using sound waves.
Tell me what you saw, Mr. Dixon.
We saw 2 strange, large animals about 10 metres long in our sonar beam.
Can you tell me how long you saw them for?
Yes, we saw them clearly for about 10 minutes. They moved very fast.
Anything else?
Yes, they dived very deep.
Can you tell me what they looked like?
Yes. You won't believe this, but to us they looked like plesiosaurs.
Plesiosaurs? But that's impossible. Plesiosaurs...
Yes, I know what you're going to say. Plesiosaurs became extinct 65 million years ago.
So, who or what is Nessie? Is there only one monster? Or is there a family of monsters? And can Nessie really be a plesiosaur? Does this mean that there are some prehistoric monsters still living amongst us in the middle of Scotland?
Lady Godiva. Eric and Edwina are living in their house in Coventry with their daughter Elreda. The year is 1061, the year when Lady Godiva rode on horseback through the streets of the town.
Oh, who's that, Eric?
I don't know.
Go and look out of the window, Elreda.
It's Egrin, the tax collector, Mother. He's got some men with him.
Oh, what shall we do?
We have to open the door.
In the name of Leofric, Earl of Mercia, I call upon you to pay your taxes.
But we paid our taxes last month.
Last month you paid 20 pieces of silver. Now you must pay again. Another 20 pieces of silver.
But we have no money.
No money. Then you'll have to sell some chickens or some pigs.
Please don't make us pay.
This girl is strong. You'll have to send her out to work.
Yes, Egrin. I will, Egrin.
I will return next week. Then that will be your last chance. If you do not pay, I will take this girl and make her work until the money is paid.
Oh, no. Not you again. Scene 5.
What's that over there?
Oh, that's a power station.
I have already seen 3 power stations like that. Are they nuclear power stations?
No, they're not nuclear. They use coal. We're on the Yorkshire coalfield here.
Can I see your ticket, please, sir?
Yes, here you are.
Thank you, sir. I see your ticket, madam.
I beg your pardon?
Your ticket, madam.
Oh, yes. Here it is.
Thank you very much.
Where do you work?
I work in the center of Copenhagen.
Is it a permanent job?
Yes, it is.
Do you like your work as an architect?
Yes, of course I do.
Do you work for yourself or are you an employee?
I work with a number of other architects in a team. What do you do?
I'm the manager of the Superline market.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, it's quite nice. I have 30 women working for me.
Really? Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, I do. Supermarket work is very interesting. How long have you been living in Copenhagen?
I've been living there for the last 30 years.
Do you live in a house?
No, I live in a flat.
What sort of flat do you have?
I have a very nice flat in Frederiksberg.
How many rooms has it got?
It has a kitchen and bathroom and 3 bedrooms. And then there is a lounge and a dining room.
That sounds very large.
It is a very nice flat. Where do you live?
Until now, I have been sharing a flat with another man. But I'm tired of that, so I'm looking for a house.
Is it easy to buy a house in York?
No, it's quite difficult. The houses are very expensive. I'm going to find a room in a hotel for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and if I'm lucky, I shall find a suitable house which I might buy. Are you interested in football?
No, I'm afraid not. I am not very interested in football.
Ah, what a pity. I love football. I go to watch York football team every Saturday.
Really?
Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I am very fond of music. In Copenhagen, I often go to the opera and the ballet.
Really?
Are you interested in music?
No, I'm not. At least not in classical music, but I like pop music. What about you? Do you like pop music?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Oh, what a pity. This is the Coventry local radio station broadcasting on 104 meters. Here is the 12 o'clock news. Today, Saturday, 10th June, 1061. News has reached us that the people of Coventry are complaining about the heavy taxes which they must pay. A spokesman for Earl Leofric said this morning that an announcement about future taxes would be made at noon in the marketplace. We are going over now to our reporter in the marketplace, Tom Ranulph.
This is Tom Ranulph speaking to you from the first floor window of the town hall here in Coventry. There must be 5,000 people gathered here this morning to hear a message from Leofric, Earl of Mercia, about the taxes we shall have to pay. In the distance I can see a figure approaching on horseback. The crowd are falling silent. Many are turning to face the houses behind them.
Some are bowing their heads. Others are covering their eyes with their caps. The horse is coming nearer. I can just make out who is sitting on it. It's our Lady Godiva, wife of Leofric. Her long hair is falling over her shoulders. Now I can see her more clearly. Oh, good Lord! How extraordinary! She's naked.
My lord.
My Lady Godiva, you look sad. What is the matter?
My lord, it is the people. They are very unhappy.
Oh, not taxes again. Every day you say the same. People pay too many taxes. Don't you understand? I must have my money.
But the people can't pay any more, my lord.
Ah, you're a woman. You can't understand. We need an army. The French are strong. One day they'll attack us.
But, my lord...
Enough! I've heard enough about taxes and about the people.
My lord, I must beseech you, they cannot pay any more.
Godiva, this is my last word. You can stop the people paying taxes if you will.
My lord, I will do anything. Tell me, what do I have to do?
Ride on horseback through the marketplace on Saturday at noon.
My lord?
Naked.
Not you again. Scene 4.
I hope I didn't upset you.
What do you mean?
Well, a little while ago I was talking a lot about business and profits.
That is quite all right.
I hope you don't mind my asking, are you married?
No, I'm divorced. What about you?
Well, I'm single. I haven't met the right woman yet. Have you got any children?
Yes, I have. I have a son and a daughter.
Oh. Would you like a cup of tea?
Thank you very much. I would prefer coffee.
Or can I buy you a cup of coffee?
No, I will buy my own coffee.
I insist.
Very well, then. A cup of coffee, please.
2 cups of coffee, please, miss, with milk and sugar. Would you like a biscuit?
No, thank you. I never eat biscuits.
What a pity. English biscuits are very good.
I'm sure they are. All the same, I just want a cup of coffee.
2 cups of coffee and a packet of biscuits, please. How much is that?
95p, sir.
Thank you very much. Here is your cup of coffee.
Thank you very much.
Where do you come from?
I beg your pardon?
I just wanted to know where you come from. You said earlier that you were Danish and from Copenhagen. Which part of Copenhagen do you come from?
I come from Frederiksberg.
Where's that?
It is a suburb of Copenhagen.
What's it like there?
It is a very pleasant part of Copenhagen, and there is a park there with a palace in it. There are beautiful lakes.
It sounds very nice.
Yes, it is. It is one of the nicest places in Copenhagen. Tell me, have you ever been to Denmark?
No, I haven't.
What a pity. Excuse me, can you tell me where the toilet is?
Yes. Go along the carriage to the end of the corridor, and you will find the toilet at the end.
Thank you very much.
Not you again. Scene 3.
Excuse me, is this seat free?
Yes, I think it is free.
Must I have a seat reservation?
No, there is no ticket in the seat. I'm sure you can sit there.
Thank you very much.
Are you traveling far?
Yes, I'm going to York.
How interesting. So am I. I live in York.
This is my first visit.
I do hope you enjoy your visit.
Thank you very much. I'm sure I shall.
I hope you don't mind my asking. You are not British, are you?
No, I'm not.
Are you by any chance Scandinavian?
I'm Danish.
What part of Denmark are you from?
I'm from Copenhagen.
Ah, yes, Copenhagen. Wonderful, wonderful Copenhagen.
That's right.
There's that lovely garden in Copenhagen, isn't there?
Ah, you must mean Tivoli.
Yes, that's right, Tivoli. And of course there is the Little Mermaid.
Yes, indeed, the mermaid. Tell me, where do you come from?
Oh, I'm British.
Were you born in York?
No, I was born in London, but I work in York. I work at the university.
Oh, how interesting.
I hope you won't mind my asking, what is your name?
My name is Brahma, Merede Brahma.
Is that a Danish name?
Yes, it is. Now you must tell me your name.
Oh, my name is Fothergill. Andrew Fothergill. How do you do?
How do you do?
Are you travelling to York on business?
Yes, I am.
What sort of business are you in, if I may ask?
I am an architect.
Oh, how very interesting. What brings you to York?
There is an international conference for architects.
Do you build very modern buildings?
Yes, sometimes I design very modern buildings, but I am also interested in conserving old buildings. That is why I'm coming to York.
Yes, of course. We have a lot of old buildings in York. The Minster and so on.
That's quite right, but you also have an Institute of Advanced Architectural Studies. That's where I'm going. They are having a conference in the King's Manor about conservation. I am very interested in that.
I think it's rather a waste of money, saving old buildings. It would be far better to knock them down and build new ones.
How can you say that? Aren't you proud of your historic city?
It's pleasant enough, I suppose, but speaking as a businessman, it's a great problem living in a city with archaeological remains and houses which have to be preserved.
How do you mean?
I want to build a new branch of Safeline, the multiple store, but I can't get permission to build.
Why not?
It seems that there is the remains of some Roman emperor's palace underneath the place where I want to put my supermarket.
But that is extremely interesting. Surely you want to preserve it.
No, I don't. I shall lose £2 or £3 million if I let these damned archaeologists stop me building.
But surely you want to preserve your national heritage.
I can't say that the Romans are my national heritage. My business is to make money and to make it as quickly as possible.
Well, I am very surprised. I thought the English had a sense of history.
Well, this Englishman has a sense of business, and I hope you will remember this at your conference.
Well, I hope you will remember that many tourists come to York in order to admire your national heritage, so perhaps you had better do something to conserve it. I am sure there are enough supermarkets already in York.
Not you again. Scene 6.
Look over there. That is the York College of Arts and Technology. That means we're arriving. We'll be in York soon.
Tell me, what do you think I should see while I'm in York? I know there is a fine cathedral.
The Minster.
Yes, that's right, the Minster. What else is there that I should see?
I think you should see the National Railway Museum. There are lots of trains and engines there.
Thank you very much for the idea. I'm afraid I'm not very interested in railways. Isn't there anything else?
Well, there is the Jorvik Museum if you're interested in old things.
What is the Jorvik Museum?
It is a museum about the life of the Vikings when they came to York.
The Vikings! Of course they came from Denmark.
Is that where they came from?
Yes, they did. I must see this museum. Can you tell me where the museum is?
No, I don't know. It's somewhere in the middle of York. You had better go and ask at the Tourist Information Office.
Have you seen the museum?
No, I'm not interested in that sort of thing.
What? You come from York and are not interested in the Vikings?
I don't come from York. I just work there.
I'm sure it must be very interesting.
Perhaps it is.
I think we are arriving.
Yes, we are. This is York.
I have to find a hotel. Do you know a good one?
Well, there is the Viking Hotel. You are interested in the Vikings. Perhaps you should go there.
Is it very expensive?
Yes, I believe it is quite expensive.
Then I must find something else. Can you give me any advice?
Yes, I suggest you go to the Tourist Information Office and ask there.
Scene 2.
Excuse me.
Yes, madam?
I should like a return ticket to York, please.
Yes, madam. Are you travelling first or second class?
Second class.
Yes, madam. Do you require a smoker or a non-smoker?
Oh, I don't smoke.
Non-smoker.
How much will that be?
One second-class return from King's Cross to York is £45, madam.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
£50. Thank you very much, madam. £5 change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you very much. Can you tell me what time the train arrives in York?
Yes, madam. The 10 o'clock arrives in York at 11:58.
Do I have to change anywhere?
No, madam. The train goes through direct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Scene 3.
What time did you get home last night?
I'm sorry Joe was so late. The motorbike broke down.
What's the matter with it?
I think the petrol gauge has gone. We're about 3 miles from Ripon and the motor made a funny noise and then stopped.
What make of motorbike is it?
It's an old Honda. Can you get me a new petrol gauge?
Yes, I can get you a new one.
How much do you think it'll cost?
About £10.
How long will it take you to get it?
About a week, I expect.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Bills, and I'm sorry that Joe was so late last night.
That's all right. I understand.
Not you again. Scene 1.
I want a single to York, please.
Yes, sir. First or second class?
Oh, second class, please.
Smoking or non-smoking, sir?
Non-smoker. How much is that?
£25, sir.
Will you take a cheque?
Yes, that's all right, sir. Have you got a bank card?
Of course I've got a bank card. Who shall I make it out to?
British Rail, sir. £25.
8th February, British Rail, £25. Is that all right?
Yes, sir. Can I see your bank card, please?
Yes, here you are. What time does the next train leave?
Next train to York, sir, is at 10 o'clock.
Do I have to change?
No, sir. The 10 o'clock goes straight through to York.
What time does it arrive?
Into York, 11:58, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'll obey. We're going to listen to some scenes in the life of two Yorkshire families. There is a village called Roebuck-on-the-Moor in North Yorkshire, not far from the city of Ripon. In this village there is a garage and filling station known as Bills and Wing. It is run by John Bills and his sister Mrs. Catherine Wing. John has a daughter called Jo. She is 17. Jo is short for Joanna. Mrs. Wing has two sons. The eldest is Tom, who is aged 22, and the younger called Chris, who is 18. Tom is away studying at London University, but has come home for the Christmas vacation and wants to have a party. Scene 1.
Hi there, Joe.
Tom, it's good to see you. When did you get back?
Last night.
Did you have a nice time in London?
Yes, super. I want to have a party.
That's a good idea. When do you want to have it?
Chris and I think that Wednesday would be a good evening. Are you free?
Yes, I can come on Wednesday. Do you want me to bring anything?
Yes. It would be nice if you could bring a bottle of wine and can you make some cakes?
Yes, OK. I'll make some jam tarts.
That's arranged then. Come about 8.
Can I bring my new boyfriend?
Who's that?
His name is Alan Howson.
Surely not that Alan Howson with the old motorbike. He's awful. I can't stand him.
He's all right. He's nicer than you think.
I can't stand him. He always drinks too much.
Well, he's my boyfriend and I want to bring him.
Joe, surely you can come alone.
If I can't bring Alan, I'm not coming at all, so there.
Oh, well, I suppose you must then.